After I signed, I told myself not to think about it. That was my mistake. I believed there would be time later, time to ask questions, time to understand what I had agreed to, time to fix anything that didn't feel right. Later became a place where responsibility could rest, a safe word, a pause button. In the hospital, everything is delayed by design. You wait for doctors, you wait for results. You wait for strength to come back, so waiting felt natural, responsible even. I focused on getting through the days, on eating when I could, on sleeping when the noise allowed, on listening to the doctors instead of my doubts. Whenever the papers crossed my mind, I pushed the thought away, not out of denial, out of survival. I didn't have the energy to process consequences. Recovery demanded everything I had. My son visited often. He asked how I was feeling, brought small comforts, water, fresh clothes, news from outside. He never mentioned the documents. That felt reassuring. If it were important, he would bring it up. That's what I told myself. One afternoon, a doctor sat beside my bed, asked how I was coping. Not physically. Emotionally, I said I was managing, that I trusted my family. He nodded. Side support was important. Then he asked if there was anything causing me stress. I almost laughed. Stress felt like a luxury problem compared to pain. I said no, I didn't mention the papers. I didn't mention the signing, because in my mind it still hadn't happened fully. There was something suspended, waiting for clarity. Days passed. My condition stabilized. The fog lifted slightly. I started remembering things more clearly, and with clarity came discomfort. Small questions at first. What exactly had I signed? Why had it felt urgent? Why hadn't we talked about it again? I asked my son once, casually. Said maybe we should look at the documents when I got home. He smiled. Said there was no rush. That everything was already taken care of, already. That word landed differently. I asked what that meant. He said it meant one less thing for me to worry about, that I should focus on healing. Because believing required less effort than doubting. But the feeling didn't go away. It sat quietly in the background, like a noise you only hear when the room goes silent. I realized then that waiting had direction. Things weren't paused. They were moving forward, just without me. Later wasn't a neutral space. It was a blind spot. Decisions don't stop because you're not ready. They continue. They solidify. They harden. By the time I was discharged, the papers were no longer new. They were processed, filed, acted upon. I hadn't waited. I had been left behind. That's when fear replaced relief. Not sharp fear. A slow one. The kind that creeps in when you realize the ground has shifted. I thought it could wait, but waiting had already cost me something. I just didn't know what yet. If you think stories like this should be told, you can support the channel by liking this video. If you want to keep watching, subscribe to the channel. A new episode every day. Cool doesn't always mean fair.